Welcome to Binge Guide, the next show.
Hello.
Today, we are doing a deep dive into a film that honestly sounds pretty wild, Juliet and Romeo.
Yeah, this one definitely caught my eye. Well, it's taken a huge swing at a classic.
Huge swing is right. So, first things first, when can people actually see this?
Okay, so the release date is set for May 9th, 2025. That's Mother's Day weekend in some places.
Interesting timing.
And for anyone listening in the UK, there's a special one-night cinema event planned for June 11th, 2025.
Right, so a couple of different release strategies there. Now, the core concept, it's Romeo and Juliet, but maybe not as we know it.
Not quite. The big headline is it's set in 1301. So we're talking the end of the medieval era, not the Renaissance.
1301. Okay, that's unexpected.
Definitely. And here's the other major twist. No Shakespearean dialogue. No iambic pentameter.
None. So what takes its place?
Original pop music.
Wow. Okay. Original pop music telling the story of Romeo and Juliet in 1301. That's bold.
It really is.
Yeah.
The whole idea seems to be about revealing the supposed truth behind the story Shakespeare later adapted.
The truth. So they're suggesting this version is somehow more historically accurate, or the real story.
Sort of, yeah. The pitch hints that these lovers actually influenced history, the future of the empire, whatever that means exactly.
And this connects to a potential trilogy, right? I saw that mentioned.
Exactly. This is positioned as just the first part. So they're clearly thinking big picture.
Okay, let's circle back to the music then. Replacing Shakespeare with pop. How does that work? How does it aim to connect?
Well, the thinking seems to be that pop music is kind of the poetic language of our time. It expresses big emotions, universal themes.
Romeo and Juliet definitely has in spades. Love, hate, fate.
Precisely. So the idea is to tap into that contemporary emotional language to make the story hit hard for a modern audience, maybe in a way the original text doesn't always manage anymore for everyone.
It's a fascinating approach. So who's behind this pop soundtrack?
Some pretty heavy hitters, actually. Evan Kidd Bogart is the main songwriter and co-creator.
Bogart. The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Grammy winner. He wrote Beyoncé's Halo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Rihanna's SOS, among others. So he knows his way around a massive pop hit.
Definitely. That adds a lot of weight to the musical side.
And it doesn't stop there. The sound is being overseen by Tim Cavagin.
Cavagin, Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's the one. And Baby Driver, Academy Award winner for sound mixing. So expect it to, sound amazing.
Right. Immersive.
Plus, Justin Gray, who's worked on scores for films like Oz the Great and Powerful and The Lego Movie, also contributed original songs and music.
So this isn't just like incidental music, it's woven into the fabric of the film.
Seems absolutely central. The writer-director, Timothy Scott Bogart.
Son of Evan Kidd Bogart. No, wait, different Bogart.
Timothy Scott Bogart. He's explicitly said he wanted to find the poetry of our time through this music. He thinks that's what makes the film truly unique.
It's a clear artistic vision, you have to give them that. So who are they trusting to embody these iconic roles, Juliet and Romeo?
Juliet is played by Clara Rugaard.
Okay, I know her from I Am Mother, the sci-fi film. And she was in an episode of Black Mirror, wasn't she?
Yep, that's her. Also, Look, It's a Rum.
And Romeo?
That's Jamie Ward, who's in his Dark Materials and Tyrants, and a film called The Last Supper.
Right, so solid, dramatic actors taking on these leads.
Which they'll need. Even with the pop songs, you'd imagine. The emotional core has to be there.
Absolutely. Now, the supporting cast. This is where it gets really interesting, too. Rebel Wilson as Lady Capulet.
I know, that one jumped out at me, too.
Known primarily for comedy, Pitch Perfect.
Jojo Rabbit as well.
Yeah.
But she apparently spoke about this role, saying that becoming a mother gave her a new perspective.
Ah, okay.
And she was drawn in by the music, obviously, but also the chance to play against type. A different side.
That could be really compelling, actually. A different kind of Lady Capulet.
Could be. Then you got Rupert Everett.
Classic. My Best Friend's Wedding. Voice of Prince Charming and Shrek.
Adds a certain elegance, maybe.
Yeah.
And Jason Isaacs.
Lucius Malfoy. And brilliant in The White Lotus recently. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Right. And he apparently commented on the songs, saying they were unbelievable and catchy, even though he doesn't sing in the film.
That's quite the endorsement, especially from someone not involved in the musical numbers.
It really is. It suggests the soundtrack has broad appeal.
Who else? The list seems pretty long.
It is. Dan Fogler is in it from the Fantastic Beasts films.
Jacob Kowalski, yeah.
And the legendary Sir Derek Jacobi.
Wow. Gladiator II, The King's Speech, His presence alone lends it a certain gravitas, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It signals a seriousness alongside the pop elements.
And there are more, right? Some younger talent, too.
Yeah, Ferdia Walsh-Pilo, who's fantastic in Sing Street and Coda.
Oh, great. He can definitely sing.
Rupert Graves from Sherlock, Nicholas Padani from SNL, and Hello Tomorrow, Martina Ortiz-Lewis from Winona Earp.
It's a real mix.
And even Grammy winners, Taylor Parks and Ledisi are in the cast.
So performers known for their musicality as well as acting chops.
It really underscores how central the music is. It's an impressive ensemble, blending established stars, theater pedigree, rising talent, and music industry figures.
It screams high production value. Speaking of which, who handled the look of the film? The production design.
Okay, get this. Dante Ferretti.
The Dante Ferretti, 3-time Oscar winner.
The very same. Hugo, The Aviator, Gangs of New York. His work is iconic.
Wow. Okay, so usually this is probably going to be stunning.
You'd have to assume so.
Okay.
And they filmed it entirely on location in Italy.
In Italy. Nice. Any specifics? Like actual castles?
The reports suggest potentially ancient castles, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ferretti working with actual historic Italian locations. That combination sounds incredible.
Medieval Italy, original pop soundtrack, high-end visuals.
Yeah.
It's quite the package. And it's meant to be part 1 of 3.
That's the plan. A full trilogy based on this reimagined story.
What does that even mean for a Romeo and Juliet story?
You
Well, it usually ends.
Good point. It suggests maybe that the ending isn't the one we expect, or that the consequences ripple outwards in ways the original play never explored.
Maybe dealing with that altering the future of the empire idea.
Could be. Or maybe delving deeper into the families, the political situation of 1301. A trilogy gives them a much bigger canvas.
It definitely signals ambition beyond just retelling the love story. So with something this different, what's the early buzz like? What are people saying?
It seems pretty divided, or at least varied, which isn't surprising for such a bold take.
Sure.
Some are really excited, praising the courage of the concept, the visuals they've glimpsed, the potential power of the music.
Any comparisons being made?
Moulin Rouge comes up quite a bit.
Okay. The Baz Luhrmann film. That makes sense. Period setting, modern music, high energy visuals.
Exactly. That kind of aesthetic fusion seems to be what some people are expecting or hoping for. Others are calling it potentially groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking how?
Like maybe redefining the story for a new generation. I even saw one comment calling it a potential manifesto for the new Juliets of the world.
A manifesto. Wow, high praise. But there must be skeptics too.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you mess with Shakespeare this dramatically, you'll get pushback. Some might find the pop music jarring or feel it loses the poetry of the original.
It's a risk for sure. It really hinges on the execution.
Completely. Does it manage to feel emotionally authentic despite the modern music and the historical shift? That'll be the key question.
So tying it all together, the setting, the music, this untold story premise, what themes do you think they're really exploring here?
Well, the title itself, Juliet and Romeo, putting her first, that feels significant.
Yeah, I noticed that. Suggests a focus on her agency.
Possibly. Maybe female empowerment, Juliet taking control of her destiny in a way she doesn't traditionally. Whole changing history angle streams destiny versus free will.
Right. Can they break the tragic mold?
And maybe there's a commentary on tradition versus revolution. You know, the old medieval world clashing with this new modern sounding energy represented by the pop music.
Conservatism versus change, played out through music and history.
Could be. It feels like they're trying to put Juliet especially right at the center of that struggle, making her the driving force.
It definitely sounds like more than just a musical adaptation. There seems to be a real attempt to reframe the narrative.
That's the impression I get. It wants to be familiar, yet completely new at the same time.
Well, this has been a fascinating look ahead. Juliet and Romeo sounds like something people will definitely have strong opinions about, one way or another.
No doubt about it. Whether it works or not, it's aiming high. The combination of the cast, the music talent, Ferretti's design, it's undeniably ambitious.
So as we wrap up this deep dive for Binge Guide, the next show, presenting Juliet and Romeo, what's the final thought for our listeners?
I'd say go in curious. Think about how this blend of medieval setting and modern pop might make you feel the story differently. Does it work? Does it add something?
And consider that trilogy aspect. Where could this story possibly go next if it's not the ending we all know?
Exactly. It opens up a lot of questions. It's asking us to reconsider a foundational story.
Definitely something to think about. So keep an eye out for Juliet and Romeo starting May 9th, 2025 or June 11th in the UK and see this reimagining for yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Binge Guide, the next show.